actually went to Austin for a day, and I was kind of worried. I'm like, man, it might be hot in the streets, depending on how this election goes. um, but obviously, Biden ended up winning. It took a couple days, but what were some of your thoughts? Relief? Any kind of? Did you guys suffer from anxiety because no winner was announced?
I kind of want Blevins to go first on this one because I think he has a lot to say.
Not a lot, but man, it's a whirlwind, really.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all know where I stand on what the last 4 years have been like, and
Trash.
we all were very excited, regardless of what side of the fence you were on, for Tuesday to come. And there were a lot of people who thought we would get an answer Tuesday night, and a lot of people who were very aware that we more than likely wouldn't, just because a lot of the states, the way that they were doing things in terms of counting the votes, were not unified, which is kind of similar to how the U.S. has been with COVID this year as well. Not unified in terms of how everybody is operating and whatnot. So yeah, we didn't get the news until Saturday morning. So you got Tuesday, people staying up late. 45 had his speech that was crazy. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and things start to look, they started out one way, and then they, started to look another way with all these mail-in ballots that are getting received, and the votes coming in for Biden, and you started to hear the noise. So, depending on, whether you're voting for Biden or Trump, or going for Biden or Trump, your anxiety level could have went one way or the other, and then swung back the other way, just because, the counts were looking kind of all over the place. So once we got that news on Saturday morning, for me, man, I was happy. It was crazy because all over the world, you saw people dancing in the streets, letting off fireworks, cheering. And it was just a joyous thing to see, because the majority of America and the majority of the world all wanted one thing, and that was for a Biden presidency and a Trump presidency to end. So it's unfortunate that in California it was raining that day, so we didn't really get to party in the streets like the rest of the country and the rest of the world, but very happy nonetheless.
Didn't your neighbors party on Tuesday though?
My neighbors, so it's so crazy. I don't know if the whole how it started and how it's going thing. I've seen a lot of people in California post on Twitter, and then my neighbors, I didn't take no pictures of them, but they fell in that same category of, you have all these people with these Trump signs on their lawn and flags and, stuff all over their truck. Tuesday night, my neighbors were outside, all three houses that are cool with each other and or related. I don't know which, were outside watching the election. Biden came on and was giving a speech, and they were cursing about him and, saying names about him and stuff and making fun of him. So they were all outside Tuesday night. And then as we started to see that things were turning, they were nowhere to be found. So just like all the other people in California that was posting pictures of their neighbors, how they were riled up, but then they took all their stuff off once they saw that their guy lost.
Hey, let me paint this picture for you real quick. So I pull up to Jesse's house. Was it Monday? And I see a sign in the front of his house on the grass, and it's 45. So I had to turn on YG.
What song?
What is it? FDT.
Okay, what that stand for?
I can't say that. It's a family show.
All right, continue.
And I just called Jesse, and I just blast the music while he was like, "Get out of here." No, I'm just joking. He did not have no sign. I don't want to paint that picture.
Paint that narrative.
Hey, honestly, I would have believed it.
I know,
I would have believed it 100%.
Nah, he didn't have no sign like that. He didn't have a sign. But yeah, obviously the whole world rejoiced. Like, not the whole world. Obviously there's losers. Like the other side lost, right? So there's people out there that still feel a certain type of way. But I think there was more people that were excited that, it's like a fresh start, something new. There was a lot of people that were not excited about the president and all the things that he was doing in these last 4 years. So I feel like it's a great change. People spoke up, their voices got heard, our votes counted, and I think that the other great thing about it is Kamala Harris, and just like what she represents for the younger generation, obviously younger girls that are going to be the future of this country. So I mean, it's just dope, like to live in this time and in this history, and to say that you got to be a part of it. Like, me and my wife were talking about it. We sat at the dinner table on Saturday, and we talked to our daughter about it, and we're like, do you know what this means? Do you understand what's happening? And if not, if you don't understand just yet, it's totally fine, but this is what happened, and this is how we were a part of it. And later in life, like, you can say that this is what we lived through. This is what's happening right now, and this is going to be in the history book. So it's cool from that aspect, and I really do hope and wish that things do get better gradually. Obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. And I also feel like we haven't seen the last of it. There's going to be some unrest. It's going to happen, I feel. And that's just my prediction. So definitely everybody just be safe out there. When we're out there, always keep your eyes open. And yeah, that was my take on it. What about you guys?
What about you, Tom? How was it out there? How was the pulse?
I can go last. I'll go last. You can go, Jess.
well, with me, we'll see in a couple of years, right? To compare, obviously, I'm proud of everybody that was able to go out there and vote, because this is the number one number wise as far as it came to people going out there to vote. So, shout out to all the Americans that actually went out there and did something about it. And we've always talked about that, like vote, 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 go vote. And Blevins made everybody in
Everybody in Texas go vote.
that he knew vote. And so, it was close. It wasn't, it may not be that close on paper, but it's technically, it was a really close race. You could tell that the country was divided 50-50. And let's see the 2 years. I hope everything comes out well, everything that was promised. I hope there's change. I'm very optimistic about it, but I feel good.
And that was your first time voting?
That was my first time voting.
And Rochelle's first time voting too?
Yes.
Wow. Proud of you guys. Although Texas didn't go blue like we wanted, the county that you live in did. So I will take that.
Tom,
Thomas is scared. Thomas is like,
you don't have to tell how you feel.
This is a safe space.
No, I know it's a safe space, but so being in the military, it's a little different,
Okay.
I mean, you're allowed to feel how you feel, regardless of whatever, whether you're a Democrat, Republican. But at the end of the day, whoever's sitting in that seat is going to be my boss. If that makes sense.
Yes.
So respectfully, so if whoever's in that seat, I still have to follow whatever orders come down the chain of command.
Right.
And that's kind of like a military answer to give you. But I mean, I live in Wichita, Kansas. So, I mean, it's not as diverse as you would think it is, but just seeing everybody around, and, I hear people like making jokes about if it doesn't go a certain way, then there's going to be looting in the streets. And they're like, I can't wait to get my free TV tonight. And,
Wow.
like, I mean, and people are going to joke about it, but at the end of the day, what I see is that no matter who sits in that spot, I gotta go with the flow, regardless if I disagree with what they stand for, regardless if I think that something could go another way. That's just the spot that I'm in. Doesn't mean I don't feel a certain way when things don't go how it is, but you got to give everyone a chance at this point, because that's what I have. That's what I got to do.